Today's lesson is extremely important. There is a scientific discovery. They did something so stupid, only fancy pants scientists could do it. Hot off the press. The typical American diet is apparently questionable at best. A team at Stanford probed into an interesting place to see what, perchance, is influencing people to eat dumbly, even they know in general terms how to eat smartly. There are a lot of places to point fingers in this dietary madness in vain, okay? And those are for a different conversation. Now in this project, the Fancy Pants Stanford team, they looked into how movies, considered an influential media source, represents food and drinks. How do they depict food and drinks? Indeed, they tend to represent food and drinks about how you think, the way people currently consume them, albeit with more attractive people that are actually pretending to do it. That's besides the point, okay? However, they looked at more than just American movies. Their search was more sophisticated than that. They looked at the 250 top grossing movies since the mid-90s. Movies like Avatar, Minions, pretty much the entire Avengers series, Titanic, etc. Once they gathered their list of movies, the scientists got their vegan, fat-free, salt-free, grass-fed, high IQ popcorn, impossible corn, and they got to work watching all of them. Tax dollars at work. They analyzed the foods and drinks in the movies and then juxtaposed them with 1, USDA nutrition guidelines, and 2, the typical American diet. What is the apparent typical American diet anyhow? It is quite a chicken and egg question. Does Margot Robbie sucking on a lollipop and make candy more enticing? Or does a lollipop in Margot Robbie's mouth make Margot Robbie more enticing? Actually, don't answer that. Evidently, the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, Mama Jamma, as scientists in the biz like to call it, the Big Mama Jamma, they thought this project was prestigious enough to publish, okay? Welcome to the world of cronyism. In any case, the on-screen diets were abysmal when related to USDA guidelines. Low fiber, high sodium, tons of fat, treats, sugar, booze, candies, chips, desserts, and so on. According to the researchers, about 40% of all on-screen beverages were alcoholic, which is actually kind of cool. Interesting. 220 out of 250 of the movies were PG-13 or lower. That is, they were meant for children. Also interesting. That's an interesting fact all on its own. Indeed, it is pretty clear that it pays, literally, for movies to show typical behavior so that people say things like, oh my god, Margot Robbie eats candy? Margot Robbie sucks on stuff? Me too. Let's go rob a bank with Harley Quinn, right? Duh. It feels icky to see pretty fit people doing pretty fit people habits. It's boring. Alas, it also makes people feel envious and self-loathing when they see pretty people doing the same things as everybody else. Why do they get to do whatever they want while I must starve myself to be thin? Because that's the sort of connections people make. Because, you know, people believe whatever they think are saying and use that as a reason to hate themselves and act foolishly, to make their lives worse, and then cry out to their frustration gods because their genetics are bad, and their metabolisms are shot, and their adrenal glands are fatigued, or whatever people say, because, you know, logic. Anyway, the movies are showing what people normally do. Does this influence the way people eat? Does it make it okay to eat a wacky diet of candy and cheese curls? Yes, it does. It absolutely normalizes that behavior. However, does that mean a person is more likely to eat a wacky diet of candy and cheese curls and chips? No. It just means a person is more likely to eat those chips that are placed in the movie. Big difference, okay? If the movies portrayed characters eating reasonably healthful diets, would people be encouraged to eat healthful diets? No! They would stop going to the movies and watch other things where people acted like them. Duh! So what does this mean? It means if a person is looking for yet another place to blame over fatness and poor health, they found it! Yay! Thank you, Stanford. Only researchers at one of the most prestigious universities in the world could come up with something this stupid. Thank you so much for learning. For Pete's sake, stay rational. Until next time, Dr. Kashey is out.
If you're picking up what I'm putting down and want to learn more about cognitive nutrition so you can finally live the life you deserve, then learn about my Kickstart program by clicking the link in the description box below.